What's up, mamas? I'm Rebecca. You're watching the Reseller Mom Show. Thanks for joining me today for 10 creative sourcing ideas. So if you have joined me previously on this channel, you know that I'm all about getting more done, making more money, and staying sane while raising kids and reselling online. And a lot of that has to do with being creative with your sourcing options because let's face it, it's really hard to go to the thrift store for as long as we'd like to or as long as we need to with all those kiddos. So whether you source online, you leave your kids with someone, you source while they're in school, you have items come to you in some way, there's all sorts of ways. The ways are endless. And so I'm going to share with you 10 ideas that I've had. Some I'm actually doing right now. Some are ideas that I want to start doing, but I put them all together because I feel like now's a good time to talk about this. And I did a little, it's not super fancy, but slideshow presentation, and I don't want to stop recording while I'm pressing the buttons to move the slides forward, so I hope this works. Okay, excuse me. So this is brought to you by my Etsy store. It has all sorts of fun reseller swag, reseller tools, reseller resources. Go check it out on Etsy. It's etsy.com/shop/theresellermomshow. That's all I'll say on that. So the first thing that you can do is source from yourself. And I think we all know this, and I think we all probably do this in some way, shape, or form. But I encourage you, because this is all about creative sourcing methods, is to search for things that you can lot up, search for things that you can make into bundles, because I think sometimes you go through your closet and you're like, this isn't worth anything, this isn't worth anything. But perhaps if you made a bundle or a lot with some sort of theme going along, whether it's size, whether it's career style, whether it's all kids 4T, whatever, you may have something that's a little bit more valuable than you originally thought. So looking for lots and bundles within your house. And the other thing that you can source from yourself is to get you started in a new niche. So let's say you're a clothing seller and you want to break into home goods. What sort of home goods can you source from yourself that you can sell online to get you started learning the lingo, learning the pricing, seeing what brands work, all of that kind of thing. So you can use your own stuff that you didn't pay for, that you didn't make a sourcing mistake on because it was free, to break into a new niche. Maybe it's electronics, maybe it's DVDs, maybe it's old photos or something that people, they sell like old-timey photos. I don't know. But that is something that I'm going to do in 2020. I'm not exactly sure what new niche, but I do feel like I want to start breaking into some sort of niche that is manageable for me aside from clothing, and I'm just not sure what that is yet. And so I feel like I've got all sorts of stuff here. I can figure it out. So the next one is your friends and family. And we say this all the time, like you can tell your friends and family that you're selling online and they have anything for you and they'll give you stuff for free. And that's fine. Maybe you've already done that. Maybe you've tapped out your friends and family for free stuff. Maybe you don't like how your friends and family dress, so you don't want any of their stuff. But the one point that I did want to break up here is consignment. I think that that's a more manageable and user-friendly way to approach friends and family when you want to sell their stuff, is to say, hey, if you want, I'll list it for you and we'll split it. Or, hey, I'll list it for you, just throw me a cut. Or whatever you want to do, and make it more of a consignment play instead of a, hey, give me your free stuff because I want to sell it on the internet. So that's just something to consider with friends and family. That's a quick one. They're going to be kind of like some you've already heard before and some you haven't. So don't click off. Stay till the end. There's actually some really good ones in here. The next one is just an overarching lost and found category. But if you have watched me on Instagram or if you have seen some of my videos, you will know that I have bid on auctions for airport lost luggage. And this may or may not be something that you can do in your area. I would imagine every area is completely different. You just have to find out what your airport does with their lost and found stuff. I'm sure it's different. Maybe some areas donate them. Maybe they don't put them up for auction. But anyway, so airport lost luggage. But beyond that, what is in your area nearby to you that you could tap into in a lost and found manner? Do you have a big performing arts center nearby and they have a lost and found? Do you have a lot of hotels by you and they have lost and founds? Do you have a school or a government building? I mean, I would imagine that not every single place is going to have some sort of amazing stash of stuff that you can get, but you never know. People wear clothes all the time, and if you're a clothing seller, they might have some good things for you. So for me, I do think that I'm going to start branching out aside from the airport lost luggage and see what other things are in my area that I can reach out to and say, hey, after 3 months of your lost and found, what do you do with that stuff? I would love to sell it, buy it from you, sell it, buy it from you, and then donate what I don't use, get it from you for free and donate what I don't use. Like, whatever we can work out, I'm pretty creative with coming up with options. And I think it's something that would be really cool and very manageable for you to do if you looked in your own local area. The next thing is dry cleaners. Again, this is something I have done, and it was kind of by accident. I wasn't necessarily planning on doing it, but I went into my local dry cleaners. I talk with the business owner all the time. She's very nice with Geo. And I'm recording a video, and I asked her, hey, by the way, what do you do with all the stuff that people forget to pick up? And she said, nothing, and I'm stressed out about it, and do you want it? And I was like, yes. And I went home with 2 trunkfuls of stuff. Now, not everything was great. Some of it was obviously dry cleaned, but things that, the stains didn't get out or whatever. Some things were not great brands, but some things were good, and I've sold a bunch of it. So I think that was just kind of an accidental thing. Now, I haven't put enough time and effort into looking into other dry cleaners to get that same relationship going with others. Like, she's my dry cleaner, so I spend money there and we have a relationship. I have walked into one other place. It was with Geo. It was kind of like off the cuff, and it was really not a great way to do business. So I think in the future I actually might call ahead or stop in a few times with like a specific plan so I can be very professional about it and see what that would yield. But hello, you should probably have some sort of dry cleaners in your area. This is definitely something I would recommend checking out. The next one is liquidation. There are so many different ways that you can do liquidation, whether you go directly to a company, whether you go to a liquidator that gets things from the company and breaks them up into smaller lots, whether you have a local liquidator that you can go to, or whether you have to purchase from them online. There's no shortage of ways that you can get into liquidation. I have done a few different kinds of ways where I've bought lots outright from a company. I've bought lots outright from a liquidator, and I have placed bids and won auctions on liquidation lots. So I've done a few different ways. Some have been great, some have been terrible. It's something that does require a lot of money up front, and what I would recommend, which was the problem that I ran into, is I basically spent my cash flow. So what I would recommend is know that you want to purchase liquidation, save up some money ahead of time. That's not your normal cash flow, like put away $100 every month until you get up enough money to buy a lot. That way it's not going to completely hit you one month where you didn't make any profit and can't pay yourself because you bought this liquidation lot. So for me, I did a few things like that, ran into some cash flow issues and learned a big lesson. So liquidation can be expensive. Not all of it is profitable. They're trying to get rid of bad things and good things. But if you do it right and have a lot of ways to offload it, it can be a very great way to get a lot of inventory quickly with very little effort. Have it shipped to you basically, and you just are sorting it and divvying it up and selling it from there. So I would highly recommend liquidation as an option if you can manage the money side of it. Next up is wholesale, and this is kind of a similar thing. And when I say wholesale, I'm speaking more to like boutique brands that you could buy on the wholesale market on Poshmark, but that's not what I do. I look up and research other companies that are out there that sell boutique brands. They're no-name brands, but they're brand new items from the manufacturer, from the distributor, usually from China. And, you want to order in small quantities so that you can identify what items are quality, because not all of them are, and see how they sell. And once you Find something that's a good seller. Hopefully you have the opportunity to buy it again and again in larger and larger quantities, to get your price point good, to make money over and over again on a multiple quantity listing. And if you've been watching me, you know I love multiple quantity listings. I love putting the photos up once, doing the measurements once, setting up a little system for the various sizes of whatever it is, and then just having it sell over and over again without having to do any additional work but ship the item. So wholesale, again, is one of those great things because you can order it online. You can get a lot of items quickly. You can do the work once and have it sell and sell again. It's very attractive. It's not for everyone. You do need that outlay of cash, and you should be a good picker. I had a lot of things that I picked that were not so good, and then I had a few things that I picked that are great, and I've ordered them again and again. So it's not for everyone, but it's something to consider as a creative idea if you do it deliberately, slowly, and in a good way. Next up is retail and online arbitrage. I have done a separate video about online arbitrage. I've actually done separate videos on a lot of these things. And retail arbitrage, I'm not so great at. I've had real trouble with like going into TJ Maxx and picking out stuff. They never sell for me. But I have done really well with some online arbitrage, and again, I have a video on that. So you just have to find what works for you, what's in your area. Does it make sense for you to go to a retail store like a TJ Maxx and buy things for retail arbitrage? Does it make more sense to scour some websites and use coupons and points and rewards and all of these things to set up and craft a really great deal for yourself? And getting those things in the off season. I did really well with kids totes boots, like winter boots from the brand Totes, and I got them for like $5 and I sold them all for over $20, and they were brand new, multiple quantity listing, had them in a few sizes, even got a pair for Geo. It was awesome. It was a great deal. And then there were some things that I bought and I'm like, I can't even give this stuff away. So you have to be a good picker. Same with the thrift store. But again, it's just another way to add a different tool in your tool shed when it comes to creative sourcing. The next one is local closet clearouts. So I have a separate video on this. I also have a complete ebook on this in the Etsy store where it has all my communications, everything step by step, like down to the T. You could read that book and get it started immediately with all of my templates. The video obviously goes over the same things, but I can't show you and give you the communications and the templates and the marketing stuff, but it goes over it as well. And basically it's using Facebook to advertise in your local area that you have a closet clear out service, and the person could clear out their closet and you can come and pick up, or they can drop off, or you can meet, get all their clothes, review their items, and make an offer on the things you'd like to purchase, and either return the items you don't want or donate them for them. And that's basically what I do. I do a pickup service in a certain area, or they can drop it off if they live outside that area. I review all their items and make them an offer. It's basically like a mobile at-home Plato's Closet. And it's worked really well. I haven't done a lot with it just because the holidays have been crazy and I can't seem to find enough time to go and make the pickups or do the promotions. But once you get it down to a science, which I did have it and then we'll pick back up on it in the new year, it really doesn't require a lot of effort once you get it going. Like, I have a Facebook page, I have hundreds of likes on it in my local area. People reach out to me like out of the blue without me having to do the outreach over time. So it is a nice little way to get stuff coming to you. You have to put in the front-loaded effort, of course, but then later it pays off dividends. So I would highly recommend that. Next is Facebook. And so this is separate. So you can basically scour Facebook for anything you want these days. It's really just amazing how much is on there. And this kind of goes with like Letgo and OfferUp and those other kinds of local, like Nextdoor, that app, all based, I'm putting those all in the same thing. There are the buy-sell trade groups. We have a very active buy-sell trade group area where I live. There's multiple groups, and so people post lots of clothes all the time. I will say in my area, people are a little kooky about how much they want to charge for things, and so that's why buying through Facebook isn't always the most productive for me. But there are those buy nothing groups also, where you basically, people just post things for free, and so you can go in there and see if anybody's giving away clothing or whatever you want to sell. Maybe that's another way for you to get into a new niche. Maybe people are giving away home goods or electronics or whatever, and that's something for you to break into by getting free stuff. So don't sleep on Facebook, but also don't spend a lot of time on it if it's not great in your area. Like, you can't make it into something that it's not. So for me, I'm still kind of navigating what are the best ways for me to utilize Facebook to source. And for me right now, it really is the local closet clear out and me putting out my service rather than seeing what people are putting up and trying to buy what they're putting out, because I feel like, again, they're just asking way too much. The next one is reseller boxes. And I don't know, like, I've purchased a few. Some have been good, some haven't been so good. So you have to be careful. I would always say make an offer, because you never know what people are willing to give away things for. At the same time, communicate with that person that is selling the reseller box and see if you can request like specific things to be in that reseller box, but also kind of understand, is this person selling reseller boxes out of their regular closet? Do you like their closet? Are they going to be just pulling things from their closet that haven't sold and putting it in a box for you? Or are they sourcing things specifically to put in reseller boxes? Like, try to find out some information. And once you find a reseller that has reseller boxes that are good, stick with them. Give them an order every so often to keep good with them, because if they recognize that you're a regular customer, perhaps they will make good boxes for you. And so it's definitely something that could work. The other thing I would put with reseller boxes that I didn't put on the list specifically is closet clearouts of people that are closing their Poshmark closet. I've purchased several people's things when they're closing their closet and gotten really great deals. I'm in the process of working a deal with someone right now. So you want to be nice about it and not take advantage, but at the same time, they're a very motivated seller if they're looking to just recoup their expenses or recoup some money so that they can, cut ties with their business. So that's something to consider as well. The last one is something that I have not done yet, but I want to do in 2020. I just have to pick a date. And basically, it's a reverse garage sale. So it's kind of like the local closet clear out, except it's staying put in your house. And it's basically, and I would promote it on Facebook the same way I promote the other thing. But basically putting out on Facebook, hey, if you have clothes to sell, I have office hours, or I'm doing a reverse garage sale, or I'm doing a buying event, and basically have a ton of cash. Or, if you're only going to pay people via PayPal, or if you're only going to write checks, or whatever your payment method is, make sure you're prepared. Set up a table in your driveway and have people bring you items that they want to sell. Review the items right there, just like you're a Plato's Closet or a Style Encore. Make them an offer, see if they want your offer, and buy their clothes. And then whatever you don't want, they take away with them. So, it's kind of like the local closet clear out service, except you're saying, I'm here, you come to me if you want to sell your clothes, I'll give you cash, kind of thing. So it's, instead of selling clothes out of your garage, you're buying clothes out of your garage. And I had this idea like a long time ago, and then I was like, no, it's never going to work. But now that I've seen the local closet clear out service pick up some steam, I like that idea and I don't mind doing it. It is kind of time consuming, and sometimes it doesn't work out so good. And so you're driving there to pick up items, bringing items back to them, and maybe you only bought one thing. And then that can be a little bit, of a bummer. So if I said, hey, I'm going to sit outside, it's a beautiful day anyway, Gio can play in the yard in the front, and I'm just going to sit there with my table, and if anybody brings me items, I'd be happy to pay you for the ones that I want. No harm, no foul. So I don't have like a full breakdown on how to do it because I haven't done it yet, but once I do, I will definitely share it with you. So those are all of my ideas. I don't know, it's 10, maybe it's more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There was 11 tips for creative sourcing, and there are endless ways. I would love to know what one of these you are looking forward to trying that you haven't done already. Leave me a comment below, like this video on the way out, and please subscribe. I really do appreciate it, and it really helps me know that there are people that are interested in the content that I put out. The liking and the commenting helps YouTube. I like to see the subscribers because I like to know that there are people that want to see more from me. So I hope that's you. I hope you subscribe, like, and comment below. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.